The ending of her life is the beginning. At that moment, the process starts, and we build backwards. And we're trying to fill in what was happening right before that death. And then what was happening right before that. And right before that.
He seemed like a nice guy. But, I didn't know, he was an alcoholic, and I didn't know that he was going to be abusive, and so.
Everyone looks at the picture-perfect postcard of State College, and for the most part, that's really what it is. Central Pennsylvania is a very rural area, and then in the middle of this is this community that popped up around Penn State University. It's not a high crime area. I mean, you can walk to the grocery store at night if you wanted to. Because it's this idyllic community, they refer to it as the Happy Valley. Everybody's here happy. Nothing ever goes wrong in Happy Valley. But underneath of that, there is crime occurring, and there's violent crime occurring. And unfortunately, a lot of that crime is within households. In the last 2 years, my unit has handled over 500 cases of domestic violence. And for a couple of years, all of our homicides in Sandra County were domestic violence related, meaning that if you were not in a domestic violence relationship, pretty safe area. But if you can't be safe in your own home, does it matter if your community is safe? In 2004, we sat down and did the review of the death of Amy Homan McGee. Friends, family, and coworkers of Mrs. McGee were brought in to talk about that death. One person's talking about an incident that happened in '99, one person's talking about an incident that happened in 2000, another participant's talking about something that happened years before that. How could all of these things have been going on and she still died? And the only way I could get my brain around it was to try to sit down, lay it all out, and walk through the process of Amy's life. I tried to just dive into it and make it make sense to myself. And once it made sense to myself, it came together in this very streaming narrative of Amy's life. And this was making so much more sense when we walked through what Amy was experiencing in the manner she was experiencing it, so that we could see the times when maybe something could have been different. And we said, people have to hear this.
You can tell that some people are just there, and others, really pay attention to detail. And Amy's one that she always followed up. She always answered your questions. And I always thought Amy was very conscientious, very hard worker, intelligent young woman, to be doing the things that she wanted to do. Amy and Vince, I think this was the early part of their relationship. So I think the attention that he put forth, it seemed like very positive attention. She seemed to be excited about it. He would stop in and ask where she was, and he was concerned about, her whereabouts, or he wanted to see her. So it seemed like, being younger and in love, it was a very positive thing at the time.
So in 2004, we did a case review on a couple, Amy and Vincent McGee. At the time that Amy was graduating from Penn State, Vincent was coming back stateside and discharging from the military. The two then met while Amy was working at a home improvement store and Vincent was working for an armored car service, making the money delivery and pickup at that home improvement store.